Welcome in. Okay. Welcome in. Let me put these in so you can hear me better. Oh, the acoustics in this bathroom are not good. Hello. Welcome in, friends. I feel like we need music or something. Do we? I've never really done music in my lives before. Other than when I used to do BP. That was kind of fun. I'll play 80s. Welcome in. Pinnacle. I guess we should make it a little better than that. But welcome in, friends. If you're new here, my name's Kim. I'm an obesity care advocate. And I'm going to pin a goal because that's what they want us to do. And we will have it be roses. We will have our goal be roses. Dang, it is hot up in here. I just did a whole lot of moving around, though. I ain't gonna lie. All right. There we go. There is a goal. Hi, friends. Welcome in. How's everybody doing? Happy Sunday. I can pretty much only go live on the weekends now or evenings because I have a job. Yeah. How are you? All right. Well, everybody's quiet. This looks dirty. My name's Kim. I'm an obesity care advocate. I've been on GLP-1s for over 3 years now, and I run a podcast that's all about it. And the podcast is very reputable. It's ranked in the top 1.5% of all podcasts in the world. And it's all about metabolic disease, treatments, community, HRT, perimenopause, all the things. And I interview experts. And then I try to bring that sort of long form content here for you, for all of my fellow ADHDers that have the attention span of gnats. Huh? That's what we do here. So I'm so glad to have you. So my life schedule is going to change. People are used to seeing me in the mornings, but it will be weekends and evenings. It's good to see you. I'm happy to answer any of your questions. I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice. I'll tell you about my journey, and then I'll tell you about what I've learned from doctors. You know, so that Kimberly, don't just sit there. Yeah, I've been up all morning, Apple Watch. So I'm happy to answer your questions if you have any. And if not, then I tend to just run my mouth. You know what I mean? How is everybody doing? I just took another bath. So my friend Kat runs the podcast with me, and she loves this thing called Cycle Bar, which is spin. Like it's spin class. So I went to my first spin cat class, and my undercarriage lady business situation is just, it's abysmal. So I have taken 2 Dr. Teal's baths now. And it does seem to be getting better, you know? Hey, Care Bear, welcome in. Welcome in. Can everybody hear me okay? Because I know I've got my earbuds. I'm very itchy, and the whatever's blooming or dying or whatever outside is killing me. So that's what we talk about here. We talk about metabolic health. If you're new, how are you? Friends, if you like the kind of content that I create, the best thing that you can do is to like the live, because the faster that I get to 10,000, the more the live goes out. And that's what you can do to help me. It doesn't cost anything. And I appreciate it so much. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks for liking the live. How have things been going, Care Bear? How have you been? Kind of want to go with light makeup today because it's Cindy. Trying to think, where is my light makeup? Do I even have light makeup anymore? I don't know. It's not a very pretty day outside. It's kind of like womp womp. Else I'd done the live outside. You know what I mean? Oh, that's sweet. Thank you, Jenny. I appreciate your compliment. I pay for it, girl. This ain't God. You know what I'm saying? This ain't God. I am in Atlanta. Where are you? I live north of Atlanta, but yeah. Thank you for liking the live, Carol. I appreciate you. I'm actually born and raised in Atlanta, y'all. I went away for school, and then I know this looks scary, but it's bronzy situation. It's sunscreen. But and then I came back and had my family, and my sister lives here. My other sister lives in New York, but also has a house here, and my bestest friends in the world are here, and that's where I live. You love the podcast. Oh, I'm so glad. Do you have a favorite episode? We love making it. See, it blends. I've been having a lot of fun lately with the Biggest Loser episodes. We've really enjoyed making those with Ashley. Opposite from me, you grew up in Seattle, you went to DC for college, and then you came back home. Ah, I like Seattle. Good seafood. All of them? Oh, that's sweet. Well, we love making them. We love making them. We really, really do. We really hope to be getting, honestly, doctors involved. You love Atlanta. Great music scene for sure. Yeah. Also, it's like brunch is a sport. Right. And yes, big fan of the podcast. That's awesome, Mel. I'm so glad you like it. It's so nice when people that watch the podcast find me on social and then we can talk more because that's the thing with podcasts, right? Is it's like one way, you know, unless you watch it on the YouTubes, you know. Most people don't though. Our podcast is pretty big, but it's mostly like audio, really. But we love it. I want to make more podcasts. I just don't have time. you know, I really want to make one about autism, to be honest. So my son's autistic. My husband, let me phrase, we're trying to say it the right way. My son has autism. My husband has autism. And I am also neurodivergent because I am dyslexic and I have ADHD. So we are a neurospicy family. But honestly, podcast takes so much time. Like, it's amazing to get one that's successful, to be honest. Like, it's so much time. Thanks for liking the live, guys. It helps me so much. Like, the faster that I can get to 10K is free. It's totally free and helps me so much. I haven't been live much because I got a new job and it takes up a lot of my time. So I'm just going to start doing lives on the weekends and evenings, you know. So we will probably have a pretty chill live right here with us. That's the way it works with TikTok. If you haven't gone live in a while, usually doesn't get pushed out very much, you know. What's the new job? So the new job is always something that I've done. I'm a product marketer. I work in cyber and risk and compliance, and so I've been in that space for over a decade, and I'm a product marketer. So that's what I do. I've done it for a long time, and yeah, it's my career. Believe it or not, most podcasts are not feed your family podcasts. You know what I mean? You know. And honestly, whenever I try to make it that, I feel like it kind of hurts my passion for things. So I'd prefer not. Hey, Holly, welcome in, friend. I haven't seen you in a while. I've been avoiding scrolling a lot. I feel like since thank you so much. I appreciate the gift. I feel like just this year specifically, it's just been abysmally dark and it messes with my mental health. So I don't scroll very much. And part of me doesn't even want to make videos anymore. I'd rather just go live and talk to you guys. You know what I mean? That's where I'm at. Because I feel like they just suppress all that content anyway. It's just so stupid. What are we going to wear? I know I need to put on some makeup, but I'm feeling like I don't want to. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna wear concealer. It's gonna be a concealer day. That will do, Dulky. That will do. Oh, dang. See, my tan's a little still there. Oh, this used to be my color. Thank you so much. Celebrate Carol. Let's do. Add sticker. Celebrating Carol for helping a girl out. Thank you. Concealer. We're just going to do a little, you know. But yeah, so GLP-1s, that's what I talk about here, you know, and my journey. And I'll give you kind of tips and tricks of things I've learned along the way. This is not medical advice. I am not even close to being a medical professional. I'm not even, guys, I ain't even adjacent. Okay. so, so, but I am here to help you with what I do know. And I'm going to use my big black puff. Isn't it funny? I love it. Kim, you came up as recommended sound here for me today. What? What's the sound? That's what, hey, Brian, how are you? How are things in Singleville? You been dating much now that you're all officially unhitched? I guess that's probably been a while now. I haven't talked to you much. What was the sound? What was the recommended sound? That's so crazy. Welcome in, friends. Okay, so here's what happens when you guys don't ask me questions. I just start running my mouth. So if you like that, click all the likes, please, because that's what I want to do. We're just gonna go light today. We're not gonna. Oh, no, I gotta listen. How have things been, Brian? Brian, I got an email from my live agency, which I really like actually, and they were like, "You ain't been live. You need to get your ass live." And I was like, "Okay." This is so cool. I'm back. Thank you for liking the live, friends. I appreciate you so much. That helps me so much. It really does, especially when I've been away for a while, because they tend not to push things out. Today I did something scary. Oh, was it? That's so funny. I'm not gonna do this. That's funny. Did you watch it? That was for Kat. Brian, my wobbly bits. I'm telling you, in my undercarriage, they hurting pretty bad. We're just gonna do a little bit of this. We're just gonna have a little color. We don't want to do much more. I think the algorithm was hiding your content from free. I think it was too. Brian, I hardly ever see your. What am I doing? Brian, I hardly ever see your stuff. I do see you live. Like I scroll through and bop in. What's happening? You know what I mean? I also, Brian, I haven't been making a lot of content, to be honest, friend. Like I make like a video a day, and then every now and then I get super ADHD and I make a whole bunch, you know? But I've really just been focusing on the podcast, you know, because it's doing real well, and that's what I've been doing, you know? But it's good to see you. I see you are a doctor now. I love it. Dr. Brian. Dr. Brian Rance. I love it. I am a doctor too. I am Dr. Kim. Dr. DMF. I haven't been doing GLP-1 content because I got a little tired of saying the same thing over again. Yeah, you know, Brian, I think us people who've been doing it a long time, that is the case. What I will say is I think what we don't realize sometimes is that everybody that makes content, especially educational content, right? It's our new stuff is what gets pushed out, right? And it's helping new people that have just gotten started, you know? And I mean, and that's what I was telling Sabina when I met her in DC. I was like, she's like, "Are you burned out?" I was like, "I'm burned out on talking about side effects and things like that. I want to talk about the big picture. I want people to help understand it a little better from like a health perspective, you know?" I think this is all we're going to do today. That's it. She is complete. That's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about having people understand. Thing is, Brian, is that there's just so many new people coming in all the time, you know, and uh, they need us. You know, I wish they didn't. Listen, I'm just saying. I wish big pharma and I wish doctors, PCPs and stuff, all had the ability to know things from a patient perspective like we do. I wish that, but they don't, and that's why we're here, and that's why we keep growing. I finished the doctor last March. And damn it, I'm using the doctor. Hey, that's amazing, Ryan. I love it. How are you, Joanne? I'm good. It's good to see you. Thanks so much for liking the live, guys. It helps me so much. Ooh, we're almost halfway there. We're almost halfway there. I think it's Sunday. This is as pink as I'm. This is as much as I'm doing. Maybe I'll do one more thing. Hold on. I don't want to do mascara and all that nonsense. I took both a bath and a shower today. A bath to soak my bits, and a shower to wash my hair. Oh, I got to tell you, that cycle bar thing was real fun though, especially when you get really jazzed at the end and like you're trying to bring it home and all that, and you're like, yeah. But I need a cushion for a Manjaro butt. I feel very strongly that Kat should make a cushion for the cycle bar that specifically is for when you lose your bootay, from a bunch of weight loss so that you can enjoy cycling. I'm sore everywhere, but it was really fun. And there were dudes there too, which I was excited about. Not a lot, but some. I guess in my brain, I was like, oh, this is like a girl thing, isn't it? So everybody does it. It's cool. When we had on Dr. Kessler on the podcast, he does cycle bar up in New York, which I was like, oh, wouldn't that be a good episode? Come on, we'll get Dr. Kessler here. We'll go to cycle bar. Oh my God, the tailbone is happy from you. Oh my God, it totally is. It totally is. I was like, and listen, we all know, it hangs, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just like, oh, afterwards I tried to walk down a step, like after cycling, and I was like, ooh, this wobbly situation. The tailbone, I know. And I'm doing the exercise and the strength training and all the things, but I think it's too late for me. I'm not above a fat transfer. I'm not either. Put it in my face. Do you remember when, at the beginning we were all like, "Oh, something face. It's just weight loss face." I think it might be a little face. It's definitely a Ozempic butt for sure. You added agency manager to your resume. Did you? What do you do? What is agency manager? I need an agency manager. What are you doing? Do you have an agency? I'll tell you what I need. I need really badly. I just don't have time. I need someone to help get me advertisers for the podcast. I just don't have time. It's there. Our shit's awesome. Our shit's fire. You know what I mean? I just don't have time. You know? And because I has a job. I has a job and a family. And I does all this. Why am I talking like that? Good Lord. I do though. But they have people that you can find that are agencies to like do this thing for you, but I don't have time to do it. I just don't. Hey, Third Coast, what you doing? I know you sent me a message, but it was in an inopportune time and it was lengthy, and I have not had a chance to respond. But don't you think I didn't see it? I'm gonna do it. I'm coming to you. You know. How's your journey going, Brian? How's everybody's journey going? Fill me in. Fill me in. What's this small live? Let's have a good time. TikTok agency. It's coaching and recruiting. Neat. That's cool. What kind? Are you a shop agency or are you a live agency? I really like my live agency. Actually, they're pretty great. They're pretty great, and they're not like been around a long time either. But it's been good. It's Jilly Willy Productions, but they're like, listen, we like you, but you need to get your ass live. I'm like, okay, a live agency. That's cool. Yeah, I'm curious how that will go with all of the transition, right? With the transition of TikTok being in the US or whatever they're doing. Thanks so much, friends. I appreciate you. Have you guys been scrolling much lately? I've been staying away from the scroll. I ain't gonna lie. I do like lives. I do like to pop in lives and hang out. Still, you know, I like it. I like to go to Kelly's lives. I go to Brian live. I go to Zach's live. You know, I go to Mike's live. Mike on a mission. Hey, Sarah. Hello. Send me your stats and I'll reach out to a few of advertisers. That'd be great. I got good stats. Get it? I will. I love that. I restarted at point 0.5. Really? Isn't feeling effective. Oh, what? Where did you get all the way off before Brandy? Is it Brandy? Yeah. Brandini? That's fun. Like martini. Welcome in, friends. You guys keep tapping. Get me to 10K. It'd be the best. It's totally free. It helps me so much. Makes my live agency happy. I worked with Jay Walter in Chicago, who I don't even know who this is. Here's the thing, Third Coast, and because we've been friends since the beginning. Like I started this as a project, and now it's like honestly, it's a business I don't know what to do with. You know what I'm saying? But I need to. Like, I don't know. I just did this because I was like, I know we need to get loud. I know we need to change things. I know that I can help people. You know what I mean? And it started and now it's a thing. It's like a whole thing. You know what I mean? Like people send me messages to speak. And I'm like, you met me? Shut up. It's awful. Like I watch people interview me on their podcast and I'm like, y'all should not be asking me to come on your podcast. I am a mess. It's so crazy because what I do as a job as a product marketer is I know how to be concise and clear and organized and all these things when I speak about things. But if I'm just willy-nilly on a podcast, right? I can't shut up. It's different if I was a speaker. Because when you're a speaker, you have slides, you have a plan. You know what I'm saying? But when you're on a podcast and people are asking you questions and you're very passionate about it, it's annoying. I ramble. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. But I know there are like some podcast companies that can like take things over and get you ads and stuff, but it hurts your stats when you do it, you know? So, but I know it's out there. I just got to take the time to find it, you know? And like brand deals and the whole thing. I got to do all that. I just don't. What is Jay Walter? Is it like a radio station? You know? I don't know. I'm telling you, I feel like the podcast could be syndicated. Like it does so well. Like, I mean, it's ranked in the top 1% of podcasts in the world. We're in the top 20 in like a bazillion countries. Which I find utterly bizarre because as a sort of big ignorant American, I didn't realize how many countries speak English. You know what I mean? One of the largest ad agencies in the world. Cool. See, I should know that, but I don't. You know, I need somebody to help us do that. You know, I know. I know there are companies that do it. Like, I just need to reach out to them and call them and like make time for that. But like, I ain't gonna have time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. But I need it badly. And then I thought about making the podcast like into a podcast company where I do podcasts for other people. But that will require time and money I don't have, frankly. You know, and I don't really want to like give up my career. I like my career. You know? But I do love making podcasts in general and helping others make good podcasts. And but I don't know, I'm a tired lady. But I think I'm in my own way. You know what I mean? Would you guys like the live, please? It helps me so much. Then my live agency will feel happy and they would not fire me. Not fire, but you know what I'm saying? It kind of is that. Not because they mean, because this is how they make money. They mean to go live, you know? So I got to do it, you know? Forget for what you are doing. I know. I know. I just don't know what to. I mean, we're the one. It's us. Like, you know what I mean? Like, thank you. And it's us because of our people. You know what I mean? It's us because of our community. It is huge. Yeah. I just need like somebody that wants to do something with that. Like, you know, I want to podcast, but I don't have much to say. Lives are hard enough. Lives are hard. I think that the good thing with podcasts is if you have guests, then you have like natural banter. And as long as you're a good like conversationalist, which you are, Holly, then you should do that. I think that we should, like in our community, we should all have podcasts. Like, I really do. I know that some people say not nice things about me and that I don't want that. I do. And then if you guys go look, I go on other people's podcasts that have small podcasts. I don't care. I go on and hang out with them. Like it's an honor to be considered for to be a guest on a podcast. You know. Oh, you think my voice is losing? That's sweet. Oh, let me come back to you. I think maybe your comment, Brandini. I think your comment may have gotten smooshed. Or back with me. But if you're, I was going to ask. You said you were on point five and not really feeling it, and that you were starting over. Is it that you were off of it completely and then you went back on? That's that was what I was curious about. I do think we have like what's called metabolic adaptation from what the doctors say on the show, you know? And so because of that, like it's not that it's not going to work, right? It just may not work as well, or you may already be kind of at your point of optimal whatever that it can do for you. You know, I will tell you, I went down to 10 for a long time and then I went back up and started losing weight again. So I do think there's something to this, maybe going down for a bit, getting more calories in, doing some strength training, and then maybe going back up. I do think there's something to that, but I'm not a doctor. It's just what's worked for me because I'm in it for the right reasons. I am. I definitely am. Yeah. Yeah. I am in it for the right reasons. I do need to find a way to monetize it though, because it takes up so much of my time from my family and from everything. I am in it for the right reasons. I do need to find a way to monetize it though, because it takes up so much of my time from my family and from everything. So I gotta find a way to figure it out. You know. So I just need some help. Yes, because my doctor made me for about 6 months to monitor another thing. Okay, so you're going back from the beginning and just back from there. Yeah. Hi, Mimi. If you need access, if you need to go the brand route, I recommend Row, and they're in my profile. And if you need to go the compound access, I recommend Shed, and they are in my profile. Mindset changes are important. Yes, products are just tools. You know, I think that's true, Deanne. But if you don't mind discussing, I'd love to. Okay, if you think about it, other medications we've taken in the past to be able to help with obesity and weight have been very much really only treating a symptom of obesity, which is the hunger, right? So, because of that, I think that we think that this is almost the same thing, but truthfully, it's not. This medication actually works on the biological dysfunction that contributes to obesity, right? So many people that have obesity have insulin resistance. Even ones that don't aren't diabetic yet, they have insulin resistance and they're heading towards that. Okay, it's like 93%. Okay. So what happens is the body is in this sort of irregulated state, so it doesn't process insulin efficiently. But the body that's obese, right, especially if you've got a lot of weight around your middle, it does store energy efficiently. And so sort of this like combined issue, right, is the problem. So the medicine actually addresses that issue to regulate the body, right? And then all of the things that we've done in the past kind of stick. Because if you think about it, in the past, when we have been on other medicines, it always sort of rears its ugly head again, right? Or even if we weren't on medicines and we were just diet and exercising, sort of that food noise continues to come back. And if you've noticed on the medicine, and I have many friends that feel the same way that I do and had this experience, it's not like we wanted to before eat a whole bunch of chicken and broccoli, right? You didn't want that. You always want the foods that seem to be the most caloric, like the most delicious and like dopamine and like all those things. And I really do think that is because the body knows that is the best way to store energy for the famine that's never going to come. And so the medicine kind of, again, gets your body in this place of regulation, you know? And so that all of those things are just much more possible. So I do think it's a tool, but it is also a treatment for a disease. And it's important to acknowledge that for many people, most people that have obesity, it's a chronic disease. you know? So that's my 2 cents on that. Our minds are the most powerful one. Yeah. I'm sending you my number. Okay, text so you can also go. Okay, great. I'd love that. I'm 3 months post VSG since February. That's great. How are you feeling? I did have insulin resistance too. Yeah. Yeah. You know what I learned about GLP-1s and VSG and all these surgeries? So, when people get like that's actually they reverse engineered what the learnings were there. So the doctors that come on the podcast talk to us a lot about that. And we had Dr. Rosen, if you follow him, he's a bariatric surgeon, and he came on our show. He's come on several times to talk to us about the fact that like sort of what we learned about making GLP-1s, we reverse engineered from what things that we were seeing with gastric bypass. So in the beginning, when people were doing gastric bypass that came in as diabetics, they were seeing them be in almost remission, right, from diabetes before they left the hospital. How is that possible? They haven't lost enough weight yet, right? They're in the hospital. So what they learned is that because you're taking more GLP-1, which occurs at the end of the intestines, and bringing it up high, it raises that GLP-1 naturally within your body, and that will can like go for a while. However, eventually, for many people, not all, right, that does start to go back down. Right. So then that's why a lot of doctors are saying, okay, now we're going to treat you with a GLP-1 in the next 2 to 3 years, right? If you need that to be able to treat the disease, because it's not your fault. It's a chronic disease. It's a chronic disease, not your fault, you know? So it's just important, I think, sort of to understand the biology of things. I know that there's a lot of misinformation out there that says that this is your fault, and it's not. So I'm great. Lost 83 so far. That's amazing. Eating with your kids. Had the chicken in my salad, yeah, and some of the salad. Well, that's great. I'm so glad. I'm so glad you're feeling better. So glad you're feeling better. Thank you so much for liking the live, friends. I appreciate that so much. Yeah, honestly, people want to know how to support me. It's the best way. The best way is liking the live. Like it's the best thing you can do. Sharing the live, liking the live, commenting, things like that. I will be in GLP-1 until the first year PO. I will be in GLP-1. I think you meant all right until my first year of post-op. Yeah. So they're keeping you on GLP-1 now, or they're putting it on after. I've been hearing a lot about what that's going to look like, right? Like what that protocol is going to look like. Some doctors, I think Dr. Angelina will put you on GLP-1 pretty quickly, you know? Yeah. hmm Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's very helpful, you know? Um, I will tell you if you haven't seen our podcast, so it's called The Plus Sides, and our podcast is all about metabolic disease. So we talk with surgeons, doctors, all things. And we have an episode with Rosie O'Donnell. If you like her, I like her. I love her. And she was on our podcast and she had VSG, right? And she's also on a GLP-1. So it's a good episode if you want to check it out. It's free. It's free. Thanks so much for liking live, guys. Oh, we're almost at 10K. Yay. I'm going to drink this here Gatorade because I've sweated my tushy off with the cat and I'm dehydrated. Mm-hmm. Started in February. Surgery was in June. I should have made sure I didn't miss a dose, though. Oh, yeah. That's cool. I'm so glad you're feeling better. That's great. And spending time with your kids. That's what's matter. That's what matters, because of the almost I need to live. Mm-hmm. He wants me to have all the success. Well, that's good. I'm glad that your doctor is thinking about all of the latest treatments and combined with your surgery. I think that's important. I had lap band surgery in 2007 and lost, I guess, about 70 pounds or so, and eventually gained it all back because that's how this works. And and then I got on GLPs and lost. Thank you for the gift. Thank you. And lost 110. And then if I ever do have to pull the VSG card, I got it. But I'm hoping not to. I'm hoping not to. I'm hoping with the new ones that are coming out, of which name I can't say on TikTok. Sorry for the burp. I just had Brussels sprouts. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I just had the most delicious salmon and Brussels sprouts. And then yesterday at Kat's house, thank you guys for the gift. That's so sweet. Thank you. Kat made me steak and Brussels sprouts and potatoes. It was so good. It was delicious. Thank you so much for the gifts, friends. I appreciate you. Hey, Kim. So the spin class. Oh, love that you're trying new things. Thanks. Yeah. Actually, the spin class was fun as F. Like it was real fun. Real fun. However, I need more cushion for my pushing. I used the cushion they had there, but that is clearly not made for Manjaro butts. But it was real fun. Like I could see like Kat is like that is her community. Those are her people. Like I get it. Gosh, I started listening to your podcast and I have found that you found what you were looking for. Oh, I'm so glad. Oh, it's so nice to meet you. Who are you using oh, you're using Fridays. I hear good things about Fridays. I use Shed. It's in my profile for NAD and GLP. Love it, and Izzy for sure. I know. It's fun. I will tell you though, my bits, like I've been in me and did you see my post? I put Dr. Teals, me and Dr. Teals. I'm like, I'm available for brand deals, Dr. Teals. It is so good. Oh, I'm so glad you like it. Do you like all the stuff we kind of do in addition to? Like we've been trying to do some extra things like around HRT and stuff like that, you know? Yeah. I made a video and I told Kat, I was like, my undercarriage and my lady bits are like not in a good way. So I had two baths already, you know? Hi, Pebbles. Welcome in. Thanks for liking the live, Holly. Thank you guys so much for liking the live. It helps me so much. Thank you. Thank you. I think I need a pin a goal. No, I got the goal bend on it. Pin. Okay, got to pin goals. Isn't that right, Holly? Those are the things we got to do, right? You know what you should do, Holly? That I don't think a lot of people do is tell people how to run a good live. Like, how to use all the tools and things like that. Because I don't make money from lives. Like, I mean, like, I think a couple bucks, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really am here to help you go and find the podcast, help you connect with, medical care. That's really what I do the lives for, to connect with my community. Because I really do think community is just everything. And that's how I've tried to build the podcast because I know that you'll go away. I know at some point you'll move away from the podcast and you'll live your life and then you'll feel lonely at some point. I know that, right? You'll have some regain, you'll have some loss, you'll have some mental stuff, right? You'll go through all this different stuff and I just want you to always have a place to come, you know? So I'm trying to make it very community focused to kind of give you all the resources that you need. Of course, always focused on metabolic disease, but yeah. So we've got some cool stuff coming up. Did you guys like the Biggest Loser episode? I couldn't post it on YT because they had clips and they fought me on it and said I was like ganking it or something. I'm like, stop it. I'm telling people to go watch it, poo poo faces. What is the name of your telehealth company? It's called Shed. Kim, it's called Shed. Kim Mom. I'm also Kim Mom. And it is in my profile linked. And I think they're great. And yeah, my favorite thing about them is that you meet with a doctor in a video. That's what I like about it. I think you deserve quality care. I want you to meet with a doctor. So I like that. You know? And it's cool too because they also offer the generic form of Contrave, which is inexpensive. And I think a lot of people need combined therapies when they get to a certain place. Yeah. Thank you, Holly. I want to make sure I pin Holly. This is my friend Holly. She's a doll. She's seriously one of the sweetest people. She has lovely lives and she's on a GLP and a wonderful person, great person to follow, very helpful and positive. Cannot wait to continue listening. I've been listening a while. I do while you're walking. Oh, that's so good. It's so good. We got some good stuff coming. We have a really good episode that's out. We have the first part out with Sabina from GLP Winner. And then another doctor named Dr. Patil, who's an endocrinologist. And we talk a lot about the system and women's health and midlife. And, so we're really trying our podcast is very much focused on not just supporting you like in your journey on like to weight loss. It's supporting you in your journey, like for forever. So that's what we do. That's who you heard today. That's a good one. Part two is real good too. We really dig in part two. I break it up into parts because having like a lot of guests and for a talk show, and I really try and not, my husband and I both try not to edit it too much because we think that you have enough like stuff that's edited and chopped up. and we're trying to keep it as authentic as possible, especially with AI. We don't want that to be a thing. Oh, that's very sweet, Cynthia. Thank you. Yeah, so I just like I should tell you who I am. I keep forgetting. I'm out of practice. So my name's Kim, and I'm an obesity care advocate. And my podcast is anywhere you get your podcast, but it's all linked in my link tree. If you want to like just go and connect, you can watch us on YouTube. But our podcast is mainly or biggest on audios on Spotify and Apple and all of that. So I'll tell you a little bit about who I am. Okay. So, my name's Kim. I'm an obesity care advocate and I run the Plus Sides podcast, Plus SIDEZ. Okay, hence the username, Kim Plus Sides. Okay. And the podcast is something I run with my friend Kat, my dear friend Kat, of many years. We both struggle with obesity and we interview people in our community as well as, I mean, we talk about everything. We talk about medical bias, we talk about the medicines, we talk about all the things that have to do with metabolic disease. The podcast is ranked in the top 1.5% in the world, and it is all about this subject, and it is driven by the voices and the vulnerability of the people in this community all over Instagram, YouTube, all the things. They come on and share their stories, and then as well as experts in the field of weight management, so and endocrinology. So that is what it's about. That's what we do. As experts in the field of weight management, so and endocrinology. So that is what it's about. That's what we do. Shed. I use theirs. I like Shed a lot. I love that you meet with a doctor with Shed. I like that there's no telehealth fee. They've also lowered their prices recently. They also do offer micro if you're interested in that. I very much have enjoyed working with them. Very much. I think that if you need to go brand, I think Row is fantastic. They have a good program and they will really try to get approved through insurance for you. And then if they cannot, they will I totally just squirreled. Prescribe the name brand for you and get it for you, even though the FDA said they can't. Great question, Nicole. So the FDA is saying that, and this is all just like hearsay, right? This is just what I know. It's not that they can't make exact copies, right? So what is not allowed is making exact copies of the medication. So compound pharmacies have been around forever. If anything, they were probably the first pharmacies. And the whole point of a compound pharmacy is to create a formulation that's good for you, right? With whatever it is that you need, and that's something that you decide with your doctor. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Changing me. I think GLP-1 winner is wonderful. My friend Sabina runs that company and that website. She's wonderful. And she really tries to go in and sort of like not even necessarily review, she keeps it agnostic. So while these are the ones that I recommend that are in my profile, it's an excellent. I have actually have hers linked in my profile so that you can get what you need. Hey Carrie, how are you, beautiful friend? Long time no see. You're on compound. You went pretty much from 319 to 158. That's great. Jasmine, I'm so happy for you. You love Sabina. I do too. I love Sabina too. Yeah. Yes. She's great. She's wonderful. She's when I got to meet her at a conference that we both went to, so because we're both in the States and advocates. And we went to the Obesity Action Coalition conference, which is called Your Weight Matters. And I got to meet her in person and have lunch with her and have become friends with her. And she is so passionate and so clever and just amazing. And I was talking with her, um, when we were there, and she said, I really think this is bigger than just obesity. I think that, and she said it in a very profound way. I'm paraphrasing. Can't even do it justice. But she just basically was like, I think that the amount of people that have obesity and the issue with the cost of medicine, like the affordability of it, the accessibility of it, that we have the ability to actually change the healthcare system, not just the healthcare system for people with obesity, but the healthcare system because of this pressure and this visibility, right? And where things are, I think, just progressing even with politically, right? To be able to actually change the system that has clearly not served us for a very long time, right? The healthcare system. And I think she's right. Your mom needs you. That's cool, Pebbles. It's good to see you. Planning on going next year. Oh, Holly, I'm so excited. Yeah, next year it's going to be at SeaWorld. So I will bring my family. So I'm excited. A lot of people are going to bring their families. She said, I'm taking the easy way out. Who did? Who said that? I'm going to be honest with you. Anybody that says that is ignorant and biased. Like, it's just not true, 83. Yeah, I can't imagine. I haven't seen anything, Kaylee, that's that low. Oh yeah, your friend that's a small in a small body. Yeah. Yeah, I think that again it's ignorance and bias. And I do think there's many people who live in small bodies, and I think there's two things going on there. Um, Guys, skinny privilege is a thing. There are many people that live in small bodies that don't have to work at it, and it's because they are metabolically efficient. And then the exact opposite is also true, and that's the people that struggle with obesity. You know, so, and if you really want to understand how these medicines work, I have a podcast about it where I interview experts, so you can get it from like experts and not our friends in small bodies that may just not understand, right? And you can feel free to check that out, but I'm also happy to answer any questions. Easy for her. Yes, agreed. Yeah. Have you heard anything about insurance cutting off MJ after a certain point? Not MJ, but yes, ZEP and yes, WAG. There are some insurance companies that feel like if you fall below a certain BMI, they don't want to cover it anymore. They don't understand the maintenance piece. 5.7, no. I mean, mine's just under 5, and I'm still on MJ. You know, so I don't think so, Ria. But I think it's less of a thing that people have to deal with type two, just because type two I feel like is a very, for the most part, people understand once you have type two that it is a like progressive disease and you need to continue to treat it, right? While I feel like with obesity, it is less accepted that it is a disease and that there is a maintenance that we need to do. You know, how much is WAG if I pay it without help? Yeah. So right now, I think that any dose of WAG is about 500, and your doctor can call that in, and that's brand. You can definitely do pay less for compound, Sima. And then if you wanted to do ZEP, I believe it's depending on the dose, it's between 349 and 500 for the brand. That is the brand for if you're going to do the single dose vials as opposed to the auto injector. The auto injector is more. And honestly, I hate the auto injector. Where I'll be in 3 to 6 months. You mean with your A1C? You stop cutting the grass will grow back. Yeah, that's true. Paying 500 for Zep, yeah, was about, hold on, I got a few comments on to catch up on. It was just diagnosed with mild sleep apnea. Yeah, do you think Zep can be cured? Yeah, I do. So I don't know about mild. I think every policy for insurance is different. I would definitely go through whatever you got to do to see if you can get that. It has been approved. It does have an FDA indication for that, for sleep apnea as a type 2, and it is under control, and I need prior approval, though I do as well. I have to get prior approval as well. It's a pain in the ass, takes months. Is there any real way for minimizing this new turkey neck? Full disclosure, to an extent, but no. Um, I love the Go Pure, but it's temporary. Like, see what I mean? Like it sort of gives me a plumping effect, right? But ultimately, yeah, it's there. You know what I mean? So it looks better than it did. I love the Go Pure neck cream a lot, and I tried the expensive shit. I like the Go Pure one, and they don't pay me to say that. You know what I mean? What is your opinions on maintenance? Maintenance is a state of being, I think. And I think that maintenance will be different for you than it may be for me. So some people may have maintenance be like whatever their goal weight is. Some people may have their goal blood work numbers or their goal A1C. Some people may have a goal size. And then some people, like myself, who need to lose more weight, stop. And then I think it's sort of like, I'm sort of in this place of maintenance in a big body, if that makes sense. So, what I'm focused on is maintaining my loss and building my muscle, and focusing less on the scale. but leveraging my medicine however I need to be able to keep my food noise under control. And that's what I think it is. I think that the simple answer is that you get to a goal weight and that you can stop. I will tell you, these medicines cap out. They just do. you know I also think that there's possible other ways to maintenance, to maybe where it's you get off the medicine for a while, and then you get back on if you need it. I think that maintenance could also be you stay on the medicine at a low dose. Hi Jamie, thanks for the gift. Or maybe you add something to it like Contrave, right? Or maybe you add in Qsimia, or phentermine to be able to help you out. Thank you for the gift, Jamie. I appreciate you. So I think that it's more of like a state of being, right? And you have to kind of figure out what that looks like for you. And so my goal this year was not to lose weight. It was to get my hormones under control and to get stronger. And that's been my goal. We gotta celebrate Jamie. Let's add a sticker. Thank you, Jamie. This is my friend Jamie. If you guys don't follow Jamie, follow Jamie. Jamie's a shiz. He's the best. He's the sweetest. Thank you so much. Jamie is literally half of what he was. How long has it been? Is it over a year now, right, Jamie? He makes excellent videos and does really supportive lives. Jamie, did you see I went to cycle bar? Did you see I went to spin class? It was so fun. But my underbits, I need a bigger cushion. Yeah, I have lost 350 in 3 years. Dang, Jamie, that's crazy. So I wish I knew what button to click for the claps. We'll just do a natural clap. People need authenticity. You're proud of me. Thanks. It was fun. It was really fun. But I need to make a custom cushion for the push-in. Not the one they have are not for me. I need you know, like like all this. It was brutal. It was really fun, especially at the end. Like my heart rate was up and we were like bringing it home. I was like, yeah, it was really fun. But this is Jamie. I want to pin you so people can follow you. It is hot in this house. Oh, Lord. This is Jamie. He is very sweet. He's been on this journey 3 years, like myself, and literally almost half, right, of what you were, right? And Jamie talks about strength training. He talks about things that he eats in terms of protein. He talks about mental and mindset. That's a big thing for him. Support, because it's very easy when you get on this journey, friends, to think that it is a weight loss journey. It is not. I swear to Bieber, it's not. Okay, it's not. I don't even like Bieber. It's from a movie. It's from a show I like, but it really isn't. It is a journey to health. And I moonlighted as my personal what? Trainer for a day. You did, and the next time I see you, we will do it again. We will. That will be so fun. I love it. It should be a thing every time we're together. Are you going to come to Obesity Week, Jamie? Did you say you thought you were? I can't get off work, so I'm just going to come to the meetup. That's another story for week later. Just can't even What is your experience with the protein coffee trend? Oh yeah. For me, it's really helped me make, yeah, I love a proffee. I have a proffee every day. And I prefer not the powders. Kat loves the powders. She loves the ghost proteins because she's Midwestern. Ghost. She says it. The ghost proteins. And because I'm in the South, I say ghost. But and then there's lots of really good protein powders too. She also loves Devotion for that. I like the Premier Protein. Those work for me. I used to love the Fairlife ones, especially the salted caramel. I was fairly obsessed with that for a while, but they don't make them anymore, I don't think. I think the only ones they make are chocolate since Coke bought them. Okay, so do I. Yeah, I've been Clean Simple Eats. I haven't tried that. There is one called like Own or something like that. That I've tried. They have a chocolate one that's pretty delicious, and it's that's like a plant based one. Because or like and dairy free. I like that one, the chocolate ones. I don't like it. I don't like the other ones, but. But that's what I do. I'm all about. I get a little bit of either cold brew or some coffee concentrate. That slam a protein shake. I start my day with that, and it helps me out a lot. My Apple Watch says stand up. Later. But yeah, I'm a big fan. If you guys are new here, my name's Kim. I'm an obesity care advocate. I run a podcast called The Plus Sides, which is ranked in the top 1.5% of all podcasts in the world. And it is all about the subject and metabolic disease. It is an advocacy and education podcast to help you on your journey for here until forever. And so I hope you will go follow it. And if you have questions, I'm happy to answer it. I'm not a medical provider or anything like that. I will connect you with medical providers, but that is not what I do. So, but other than that, I'm happy to answer questions from my perspective. We'll definitely let you know when I'm there. Good. Spending a week with friends who live in Atlanta airport. Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll work it out. We'll work it out when you're here. Me and Kat will come see you. It'll be fun. And then we got some other friends too. Hasta la pasta. That's right, Irma. You know, it's so funny, Irma. Like, I guess it was like over 3 years ago. I was doing I worked in cloud and well and like this Kubernetes and like this whole like world, and we were doing this like cloud cast, and the guy was like that I worked with, who's just a doll. He's from Canada. He's the sweetest guy in the whole world. And he was like, you got to have a sign off. I was like, I don't have a sign off, bro. Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not outgoing enough for all that. I know people think I am, but I'm not. And he was like, you need one. And I was like, hasta la pasta. And that's why hasta la pasta is what I say at the end of the plus sides. Because it's my sign off. Like, it was like my son used to watch this show called Wally Kazam. And there was this noodle, and she was a naughty noodle. And she was always getting into trouble. She was the naughty noodle. And she ran in and she would cause havoc and she would go, hasta la pasta. That's totally ganked it. Could you talk about strength training? Sure, yeah. I've been doing a combo of machines and kettlebells. I am a kettlebell fan. I love the kettlebell and I love resistance bands. I would not tell you that you know how like a lot of time with weight loss stuff, you have people where they're like, this is what I do, be like me. I'm not that person. You know what I'm saying? That's just not what I do. There's lots of people who are like that, and I'm totally cool with that. It's just not me. I've made every mistake there is. So what I will tell you is that you can do a lot in 10 minutes of strength training, a few days a week. And that I've learned that from doctors. And then my friend Jamie, who's on here, right? Like he's taught me a lot about it. Kat teaches me a lot about it. I think it's almost more important than cardio in terms of this journey. I think the cardio piece is important, honestly, like for your joints and your, like mental health. I honestly can say like I exercise almost every single day, and it has changed my life and my mindset in ways I wish I could explain and articulate. But it really is awesome. And if I get all up especially I have anxiety, if I get all up in my head and go for a walk, you know, and I found it so helpful. My goal is to be able to lift myself up at 90. Yeah, it's a good goal. And to run from or take down a school. As a teacher. Yeah. Morbid. Listen, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's a sad thing we got to even think that way. But yeah, you know what my goal was, Ria, is to get in and out of this bathtub. So at the beginning of the year this year, so my brother-in-law installed this really nice bathtub for me years ago. And my brother-in-law passed away this year, and he was my favorite. My husband says all the time I bring him up more than my husband does. He was my husband's brother. And I adored him. I loved him. And he had diabetes and obesity, and he passed very early, too early. And I told myself at the beginning of the year, I was like, I'm gonna get strong enough so I can get in and out of that tub. And I've been taking a bath every day for a couple months now. And I just love that I can feel strong. I love feeling strong, you know? And I was cool the other day when I was in spin class because I can't keep up with these people that are in there, you know what I mean? But the instructor could clearly tell this was important to me. And she was like, you're strong. And I was like, I am strong. you know? And then when Jamie and I were exercising, Jamie was like, you're stronger than that, I can tell. And I'm like, okay, I do. That's important to me. And I think like you get to different stages on this journey, right? Like you get to different phases and I think like it's hard for me to see people in the beginning because I know where their minds are for the most part. They're thinking about losing weight, right? And that's because we've gone to doctors, right? All our life. And what do they say? You need to lose weight. 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 So we think that the weight is our fault and we think the weight is the problem, when ultimately there actually is a disease and a dysfunction that is at play, and we deserve quality care. And that's important to me. But I will tell you, like in the beginning, diet culture has done a number on us. It has, still does. And so that's what we think. And it's sort of this life of accountability. And, like I ate this week and I did my weigh in and then this shot day, you know what I mean? And stuff like that. And so I just find that, like, oh, I have to authenticate. I just find that it's hard for me to scroll and hear people say these things that are sort of dripping with diet culture, which I know. And I can't say I'm on the other side of it in terms of healing, but I am on the other side of it as knowing that it's bullshit. You know what I mean? And I just want people to understand that this journey, it really is about health. It's not about being in a smaller body. You may end up in a smaller body, but in reality, you probably will end up in a smaller big body. At least that's if you have obesity to a certain level and you've had it for a long time. There are some people that end up in small bodies, but it's not, it is, for sure is not the norm. And that's just the truth, you know? I've got started. I got started giving blank states. Giving, started giving, oh, I see. Things like, what an odd thing to say it out loud. Oh, that's funny. Congratulations. Yes, obesity is wreaking. Yes, absolutely. For decades, you've suffered and tried. Absolutely. Siri, it's so nice to meet you. Am I saying your name right? Is it Siri? I'm Kim. It's nice to meet you. About diet and yes. I think that there is a lot to be said for the fact that we restrict calories and that we focus on nutrition and we focus on movement and getting strong and all of those different things. But ultimately, what we do know about obesity is it is a vicious disease. It is chronic, right? And it can, because it's chronic, it continues to return. And I know that there are some people that can control it, right? That they have the ability to be on a calorie restriction and exercise and make lifestyle changes and it sticks for them. But the data shows that for most of those people, that weight comes back in 3 years, right? And it even shows on this medicine, people have some regain. The whole point is just not to regain at all. We know that over half of the people that end up with surgery, they get surgery, right? Which is considered the best thing for the treatment for this disease, even with these medications. Thank you for the gift. Even those people have regain, like half of them, right? And so that's why, like one of our friends that's in here that just had VSG, she was saying like, hey, my doctor's helping me combine GLP-1s with it. And I think that we just act like there's sort of just this one way to treat it, right? And we treat it like it's a weight loss thing and not like it's a disease. And it's a disease. It is. Yes, it's chronic. Thank you for sharing your story. Absolutely. So glad to have you. Welcome in. If you guys are new here, my name's Kim. I'm an obesity care advocate and I run the Plus Sites podcast. And this podcast is ranked in the top 1.5% of podcasts in the world. And it is all about metabolic disease and the treatments and the support and everything that you need on your journey. It is not a weight loss podcast. So, I get that a lot. We want to be on your weight loss podcast. I'm like, wrong podcast, So that's what I do. I go to events, around about obesity. I speak on the Hill with lawmakers. I'm very active in this community. So I'm happy to answer questions. I'm not a doctor. I definitely can't give medical advice, but I'm happy to share my opinion and point you to resources that you may need. You're a podcast listener, Kathleen. That's great. Well, it's so nice to see you. Yeah, I try to go live when I can here so that people know about it. The podcast has gotten to the point where it's pretty much on its own now. People are finding it on its own, which is nice. But I think that it's important to connect with community. It's made a big difference in my healing for sure. You love the podcast and appreciate that you have great guests. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I try to. I think Kat and I only know so much, right? We need the people that know the things, and we have a really. If you guys know Dr. Dan, he's out of Canada and he's a pharmacist. He's going to be on the podcast soon. It should be good. We loved it. He says some funny stuff, man. It's a good episode. We have another one. We have several coming up. If you guys don't know Gianna is a dietitian. She's on our podcast. She just wrote a book, and it's like 100 and a bazillion ways to be like tips and tricks for this journey. And she was just on our show. And that's going to be a couple parts because Gianna's like me. She's a talker. So we just kept talking. So I hope you like that. It definitely it's a long form content for sure. I agree. The GLP community is so vital to my journey. Yeah, I think so too. I think Even if it's on any of the platforms. I think that something unique about TikTok is it does seem like very community focused, like when it comes to things like this. But I do wish that that more of like people that follow you could see your content, and I feel like it only gets pushed out to about 10%. You know, and they're kind of just always putting you in front of new people. It makes it harder to connect, I think. But that is one thing that's good about lives, right? Is you get people join. And thank you so much for liking the live, friends. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. But yeah, but I think like for me, like the exercise piece has been really big. And then I started HRT, still trying to kind of figure out the right dose for that. It's very complicated, I have found. It's not a one size fits all, And so that's what I'm doing, you know? Oh, sleepy me. I stayed up late with Kat on Friday, and then she wore my ass out at Cycle Bar. Welcome in. Hey, friends, if you're new here, my name's Kim. I'm an obesity care advocate. I run a podcast all about this. It's very reputable, it's highly ranked, and it is award winning. So it's a very good place for you to get information. And I am not a doctor. I'm not a doctor, I'm a pool man. So, but I'm happy to share what I know with you. Happy to share what I know with you. How is everybody else's journey going? Enough about me. Well, how are you? How are you? Man, I got some bushy ass eyebrows. We have met, Becky. Hello. Welcome in. I have to tell you, like now that I've gotten older on this journey and lost weight and stuff, I'm not a fan of this. How do I get these open again? Is it Botox? Is that the answer? Do I have to look like this? Not a fan. Not a fan. A long time no see, indeed. How are you? I've been stalled for a few months now. I'm very discouraged. Sure, I understand that, Amy. Amy, stalls happen for a lot of different reasons. I want to tell you about my friend Jamie. I do have his name here. Um, uh, if do you follow him? He just made a really, really good video about stalls, about like he's got a whole series coming out about it. So I'll tell you my opinion, but I would highly recommend that you go look at those. Stalls happen for a lot of reasons, and they happen no matter what honestly stage you are at your in your journey. And they'll happen if you, no matter how you are going about losing weight. Thank you for the gift, friend. No matter how. So they can be very frustrating, but sometimes if you understand why they're probably happening and then you can make some adjustments accordingly, it can help. So, a couple things. So, what I've learned from doctors on the show and then my experience around stalls and plateaus is that, again, they're part of everybody's journey, no matter how, right? Also, these medicines do cap out. They do cap out. There is a certain cap out for them. That being said, there are plenty of people who have exceeded that. My friend Jamie is an example. I am an example. I lost twice what people did in the studies. But it is truly just, it just depends on you. But on the average, if you look at over the 3 year study for Zepbound for specifically, right, the average was about 55, 60 pounds, right, which is a tremendous amount of weight. Considering doctors say if you lose 5 pounds, you're going to see like these medical benefits, right? So that's the first thing. So try not to get discouraged now. Think about what it is that you've lost and realize this is a long-term thing, right? Like you're going to hit stalls. And a lot of the reasons we hit stalls on a weight loss journey when we have obesity is because our body is fighting us. It doesn't like it. It doesn't understand that you're not in crisis. It thinks you are, you know? So there's a few things you can consider. And one, maybe you need to eat enough calories. You may need to eat more. A lot of people say like, oh, maybe you need to eat less now that you're in a smaller body. I don't think that. I think I've never seen that be the case. You know what I mean? With the medicines that we take, it usually is that you need to eat more. So there's that. Also consider the amount of protein that you're eating. You might need to eat more or less. And consider strength training because muscle does burn fat. And the other piece is you have to give yourself some grace and be patient because you're treating a disease, right? And that's just the truth of it. It really is. Thank you for the gift. Thank you. I'm 15 weeks in. I'm on 5. Okay, and I'm losing about a pound a week. That's wonderful. I'm in nothing is stall. That's okay. So a stall isn't even really considered a stall, Kathleen, until it's been for at least 4 or 5 weeks with no movement at all. So just know that. Like sometimes you're going to have weeks where you gain. Sometimes you're going to have weeks where you lose. Sometimes you have weeks where nothing happens at all. And that's just your body. That's your body fighting back. There's a lot of reasons and a lot of things that affect weight. It does not mean that it is FAT. It easily could be water. Like just keep that all in mind. Hello, Quinn. Welcome in. Thank you for the gift. Autocorrect strikes again in a bit of a stall too. Okay, but planning to stay the current doesn't wait. Yeah, I mean, I think that you can do that. Like, I'm talking with your doctor is really, really important on this journey. It's very easy for us not to and not to want to. You know what I mean? That's one thing I talk about on the podcast a lot is sort of this broken trust in our system with our providers and with the food system and with the healthcare system. There's a tremendous amount of broken health, and it is why a platform like mine and many others in this community exist. And it is because we don't want to talk to our doctors. And I hope that we can find a way to fix that. I think many doctors have come around realizing obesity is a disease and that there's bias, and they have in good faith wanting to change that, and those are the doctors that I try to have on the show. I may at some point, if I'm healed enough and brave enough, have people on that disagree with us. I think that's important. It's I, I just need to be in a good place to receive that, because if people start telling me things that I have trauma and trigger against, and hmm, cat can probably handle it better than me. We'll let cat lead those, and that's what we'll do. But I do think it's important for to have different people on. Like I am going to have a nutritionalist on who definitely believes in GLP-1s, but she also believes that insulin resistance can be controlled with diet, right? And I think, okay, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Why you think that way, and maybe you can teach me something, right? I don't think we have enough dialogue in the world with any topic where we can disagree, you know. And I think that we should. So, I've been losing nothing for 3 weeks, and then four in a week for about 3 months now. Yeah, 7 pounds, 7 months on it. That's okay though. That's okay. I mean, 7 months on, like you probably are, you're a good bit on it. What dose are you on? So you can always figure out with your doctor if it's time to go up in dose. Like our bodies do tend to, adapt metabolically. It's not that it stops working, but our bodies fight it to a certain extent. And so it may be time to go up in dose. And you guys can talk about that. I'm on GLP compound, okay. And it's blowing my mind how my portions have decreased so much. I know it's crazy, right? Struggling to get enough protein though. Yeah. So I would tell you sometimes in the beginning, friend, it does matter. It always matters. But at some point your body will respond negatively if you're not giving enough calories. As a matter of fact, it will fight you. Like most people in our community will tell you you're going to lose the most weight when you eat like the most. Like, you know what I mean? Like figuring out what that deficit is. I'll tell you a little trick I do. Is it Brittany? Is that how you say it? So something that I do, I call it the 3 bite rule, where if I don't feel like eating and I have aversion, I'm just not interested. I know that it's time to feed my body. I know it's time to nourish my body. So I sit down with my water and with my protein, and I make myself take 3 bites of protein and 3 sips of water. And what I find is that my brain kind of re-engages and understands that we need to get in our nutrients, we need to get in our water, and then I'm able to do that, right? But there's something about that piece of it. You gotta reconnect it, That's what I find. So I call it the 3 bite rule. Week two, 1.25, only lost 2 pounds. Okay, what am I doing wrong? So, Shelby, you're not doing anything wrong. It's amazing you've lost anything. So, I would actually call you an overachiever, my friend. And the reasons that you've lost what you have is likely not fat. It is likely the water that our muscles hold in, and you have released that. Most people actually don't get therapy on 0.25. I know it's easy to think of this more like phentermine, right, or something that we've taken in the past, but this medicine actually is a treatment for a disease, so it's going to work on that biological dysfunction that's causing it. But you may need to get to a dose that's therapeutic for you, and for most people, 0.25 isn't. But it does take time. I would tell you that the doctors suggest that you lose about 1 to 2 pounds. That that's just like a nice, healthy, sustainable loss per week on these medicines, and that's an average. Because some weeks you might be up, and some weeks you might be down a lot more than that. So you want to look at the average over the months. So you're doing wonderful. You're doing wonderful. Yeah, getting enough protein's a big deal. I have lots of little hacks. I love those little fast breaks. You know what those little like Sargento fast breaks? Those are good. I like those. Those are a real good way to just get some get some nutrients, you know. I'm a cheese stick and pepperoni girl. Like I get it in, you know what I mean? Like it's hard to get enough in, that's for sure. But the protein piece is so important. I definitely lost muscle. Most people lose muscle when you're on a weight loss journey. It's how it is. But having that strength training and that protein piece can really help you reduce that, if not gain muscle. So those are all very important things that I wish I had known sooner. You're very welcome. Good. I'm so glad, Shelby. Yeah. Give yourself some grace, my friend. This is very different. The reason, like, think about it. If this was this miracle thing, we lost thing, where we didn't have to do anything, you know what I mean? Like, why, if it's just about hunger, right? Then why wouldn't we take all the other things that are a hell of a lot cheaper, right? And not in scarcity, right? And not so much bias around, right? We would do that. This medicine treats the disease. It's different. That's why it's different. Does that make sense? I have severe nausea, lots of vomiting. Any suggestions? Yeah, sure. So it's very common for people to feel nauseous. I would not say vomiting is common, but I do have friends who have had that as an effect. I would say first and foremost, and stay with me on this, okay? I want you to talk to your doctor, and I'm going to tell you why. Okay, it's not, I think that the fear and the reason you're here with me is probably the same reason I'd be here too and have been, okay, is because we don't trust them. I mean, it is a very broken system with the trust that we have with our doctors. It's a very broken system with our trust with our healthcare, trust with our government. Everything's broken, but for some reason we trust each other because you know that I struggle with the same thing you do, right? But we have to put it back on our doctors because they do know more than we do about this, right? And so, because of that, I want to make sure you push back. That does not mean they're going to take you off of it. What they should do is adjust your dose, possibly a custom dose. They should give you some medicine for nausea. I will tell you a few things in our community that we swear by, which is pre gaming and also like drinking and eating. I don't know what it is. For me personally, my nausea seemed to be specifically like caused by me not drinking and not eating. And when I would drink and eat, even though it was very difficult to do, when I would, that would go away. Thank you for the gift, Karen. It's good to see you. So, those are two things I want you to consider, okay? I hope to see you again too, Sue. Kathleen, thanks for coming in. How are you? Welcome in. It's not just working anymore. Get 15 milligram type 2. Yeah, been under for 3 years, stalling for 2 years. Yeah, yeah, it's very common. I mean, I think like type 2 friends, they have their, and even like obesity friends, like it does cap out, right? I would ask you, like, what's your A1C looking like? When you're saying it's not working anymore, do you mean that you're not losing anymore? Or do you feel like your food noise isn't controlled anymore? We do have metabolic adaptation, which our body is still going to try to fight us to regain our body. That's why it's a chronic disease. Okay, because our body's always trying to send us messages to our brain to get us to regain. It's literally, your fat literally has memory, right? So I would tell you to talk with your doctor about checking out that A1C. I would also talk to your doctor about possibly adding in another medication. So something like Contrave or Qsymia, Phentermine, something else that can help you if you feel like your food noise is out of control, possibly switching medications when it comes around. That's what I would suggest. Okay. Not losing. I'm so hungry. Okay. So here's the thing. You're not losing, but you're not gaining. And that's a win. Yes. Let's focus on, we got to get our wins. We got to get our wins. That is a win that you're not gaining. Okay. So I would tell you that when it comes to, I want you to check that A1C. Okay. Get that A1C checked. Make sure there ain't something going on. You have gained. Okay. I gained too. So I gained too. And what I actually ended up doing was going down in dose. And then eventually went back up, but I went down in dose for a little while, kind of let my body be hungry, let myself eat more. I also, because I'm at perimenopause age, I started having hot flashes and stuff like that. So I went and got on HRT. So it's been sort of like this dance for a few months. And then I also added in Wellbutrin. I ended up switching to something else, but Wellbutrin actually really did help. It was a really nice combined therapy. Right. I think that when you're diabetic, it can be very complicated as well. So obesity is very complicated. I don't hear anybody says it is. Like many of us who started on this journey over 3 years ago, who are what we call OG creators, right? Many of us have had regain. I think that what we've seen is many people who have stayed at least on a maintenance dose of the medicine have not gained more than 10 or 20 pounds, but they definitely have. She gave you Contrave. Yeah, you may have good success there. You know, I tell you, we just had Dr. Spencer Nadolsky on the podcast, and he said that like he likes Qsymia. Like, there are plenty of doctors that have prescribed just Wellbutrin. There are plenty of doctors that have just prescribed Topiramax, or there are plenty of other combined therapies to have with your GLP-1 that can help you that are approved, you know? So I want you to talk to your doctor about that, okay? You have an endo, I assume. Yeah, that's a great question, Tucker. Yeah, I think if you don't mind him asking, I think that's nice. I regained 20 pounds and then I've lost 10. And then I'm not losing, but I'm in a whole size smaller since I've been exercising more. I do think that helps a lot, but I'm not in a smaller body. I'm more just trimmer, and stronger, you know? So that's what I found. I think that we're kind of always sort of figuring out what's next. I think what people don't understand is that obesity is like a moving target. Like it's it's like it's like security or anything else, right? It's like risk or whatever. Like it's a moving target. Like we're treating the disease. This is not a cure. Like I think that's something we have to consider. And I know that we want it to be. Trust me, you will see videos of me where I am breaking down about regain and all those things. I'm very transparent on here. I would tell you that it's something that we may have to rework things like consistently on these medicines. It's not a cure. It's not a cure, my friends, but it does get you to a place where hopefully you're not regaining or you haven't regained much, right? That's the goal, is to keep off as much as possible and keep your blood work good. I'm still on it, Gigi, but I've been on it for over 3 years. I started July 2022. I've been on all of them, even the daily ones. I heard someone say that they stalled and they went back down and lower the dose and work again. Yeah, I think I don't know. I don't know what it is. It could be because they needed to eat more. Like that's very common, Tucker. No, trucker girl, not Tucker, trucker girl. Yeah, it's very common for you not to eat enough and for your body to be like, nah, you know, something to keep in mind. Does Shed have Afterpay? I don't think so. I am on Zep. How's it going? Tell that being on GLP-1 will be much easier in maintenance. Yeah, I definitely think it helps with maintenance for sure, friends. Yes. Hey Gina, welcome in, friend. How are you? Welcome in. Thank you for liking the live, friends. I appreciate you. That helps me so much. It helps me so much. And it's free. It's totally free. How are you feeling? Did you get your new medicine? Is it working? You don't have to tell me on here. I'll text you later. But yeah, trucker girl, I'll tell you, I went down in my medicine, and then added in a combined therapy, and then started to lose again. Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with also stress is a big driver of all of this. We forget there are so many things, right, that cause you to have issues with weight, and that's one of the biggest reasons that obesity and diabetes are so complicated. They're so complicated to treat. You know. It's just, I wish it was a cure. I really do, my friends, but it's just not. It's just not. Oh, I don't like the way that sounds, Gina. I'll text you. Hormones. Yes. So true. Oh my goodness. I found hormone replacement therapy to be very beneficial. Kat and I both have. I think the strength training piece is also just hugely beneficial for your health. It really, really is. And it's not a massive commitment. You can literally have resistance bands at your desk, doing a couple moves for 10 minutes, 3 times a week. And the doctors have said that will help you considerably, you know? But yeah, I'm on hormones. I take HRT. So I do. We hit our goal and I didn't let a new one. Oops. I'm in trouble. Let's set a new one. Set new goal. Let's set let's set the finger goal. Let's set 10. Sure, we'll do that. 10 fingers. 10 hearts. My friend, speaking of like this is like a very like Korean thing. I have been obsessed. Have you? Okay, listen, I'm just gonna tell you. I have been obsessed with the vampire. No, not vampire. What do you call it? Not, what do they call it? Demon hunters? Do you guys know it? So my son is 12 and he got me watching all these things. Dear Lord help me. But it's fantastic. It's the music is awesome. Have you heard it? Did your muscles hurt and then she don't feel good for 3 days didn't and then not feel good for 3 days? I definitely had some sort of flu-like symptoms as I went up in dose. I found over time that went away, but it's always something to flag with your doctor. Okay, doesn't mean they'll take you off of it. I don't think we're in this place for the most part where if you tell your doctor about side effects that they're going to like not like they're going to take you off it. We were definitely in that place 3 years ago. I do not think that we're there anymore. I really don't. I think, maybe, and if they say that, then you just let me know. I'll find you another doctor. It's nice to meet you too. So glad to have you. Hi, Krista slash Sayla. It has been a hot minute. I know. I've been taking a break, a mental health break. I got a new job and I can't really go live in the mornings anymore. So I'm going to start going live on nights and the weekends. How did you avoid OZ face? Oh, I wouldn't say I did. Do you think I did? I don't think I did. I mean, this was my face. I think it's like, I mean, I always, I'm, my background, genetically, my granddad's Cherokee. And so I have like high cheekbones and all the things. But I think I do have it, you know? So, yeah. But for the most part, like it's weight loss face more than anything, you know? I think it's, and I think our bodies are also breaking down um, fat and everything differently. And yeah, so I think I do have it. I just think I just like it. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. Super. Oh, girl, same. You got a new job and you love it, but I'm constantly burned out. Yeah, I like burnout is a real thing. I mean, I have been going really, really hard for, over 3 years now at this, you know what I mean? So I have to find a way to juggle it all. And I was like, to figure out what I want and what I need a minute, you know? So I took the minute, I needed it. If anything, I feel like making videos is kind of not good. I kind of feel like lives are the better way to go here, to be honest. Bugs. Get that little gnat in here. Stupid bugs. So I'm taking a break from Zep, okay. And I'm detoxing money. Okay. Are you feeling okay with that? Gigi? Are you taking a break because you weren't feeling well? Certainly don't want that for you, friend. Welcome in, friends. If you're new here, my name's Kim. I'm an obesity care advocate. I run a podcast called The Plus Sides, and it is all about metabolic disease. It is very reputable. It is ranked in the top 1.5. I'll be so happy when it's one. I have to say 0.5. 1.5% of all podcasts in the world. It is won 4 awards. It's a very reputable place for you to go and learn all about this. Okay. I mean, I really work hard to give you good stuff. Okay. So go check that out. I'm happy to answer questions. I'm not a medical professional, but I do have obesity. I'm on this journey and happy to share my experience. You just started ZEP 2.5 and you feel absolutely nothing. Any tips? Totally normal. Give yourself some time. Most of the time, people don't feel anything, especially that on that 2.5 first dose. That's actually not considered therapeutic for most people, but everybody's body's different, So just give yourself some grace. It takes time, you know. You'll do that for 4 weeks, and then your doctor will probably move you up. Okay. Oh, I almost got it. I feel like Mr. Miyagi. You just got the last one. The A1C is back down. Yes. That's amazing. Mine's in normal levels. I'm like, yeah. 3 years, I'm telling you. Protein, exercise daily. Yeah, that's a good thing. 2 gallons of water. Lord, you're going to float away. You're going to float away, Grace. That's a lot of water. I just started 10 mg and you feel nothing. Okay, so when you say you feel nothing, let's talk about what that means. Lower A1C, indeed. That's great, Grace. Is it normal to move up in dose each month? In the studies, that was what they did. But we have since learned that it is usually not necessary. Um, if you are losing and you're feeling good on a dose and your A1C is controlled, Most doctors will not move you up every month, although some stupid ass insurance require it. But most of the time, a doctor can fight that with an appeal. You know. Um, Grace, do you have obesity? Would you like to have this discussion? I'm happy to. You seem like you're being plenty respectful and that you may not agree with things, and I'm happy to discuss it with you. If my insurance won't cover, will they cover? So they won't cover TERS because that is the way you're speaking of it is the active ingredient. They may cover the brand name. And it just depends. Everybody's policy is different. Hubby mentioned that Costco will be GLP-1 discounted. You know what? It's actually a farce, in my opinion. In my opinion, my opinion. It's just like what we learned at the beginning of the year. It's the 500 dose for we already knew that was gonna happen. You know what I mean? You lost 80. That's great. Yeah, and you're no longer pre-diabetic. That's wonderful, Grace. I'm so happy for you. No longer high blood pressure. That's great. Thank you. I just don't want to get to the top dosage and max out. Yeah. And the truth is probably some point you will, all right? You know, and then at some point you will, and then we'll have to adjust. So like obesity is a chronic disease, right? It is progressive we may have to continue to adjust, right? Okay. I don't know what that means. I'll click it. Do you personally stack anything with your TERS? I take NAD plus because that helps me with my energy levels considerably. I get that through Shed. And then I was taking Wellbutrin, but recently switched to Lexapro because Wellbutrin was giving me, it really did help with the food noise, but it was giving me a lot of anxiety loops I couldn't get out of. Yeah, that 1 MJ perimenopause makes my brain not work. I tell you, like, it's like crazy. You wear a bikini. Well, that's wonderful. I'm happy for you. Yeah. Well, thank you. We appreciate your tips, Grace. I'm going to talk to my doctor and thinking about getting back on it after I do time. Yeah, I get that. If that's what you feel like you need to do, definitely stay in touch with your doctor. I've been on Gen 15 for 1 month. How's that going? 15 is intense. B12 helps. I think I like B12 too. Yeah. Lexapro. Yeah. You've been on it. I'm a big fan so far. I do. My teeth hurt though. It's a weird ass side effect. I really hope it goes away. You know what I mean? It hurt. My teeth hurt bad. My company dropping MJ in 2026. Yeah. It was the thing managing my type 2. Hmm. Yeah, you can. Um, I would I would fight that. Why are they saying that? Are they saying because of cost? Are they offering any GLP? Like are they because you have type 2, like are they gonna offer OZ? I would fight that, my friend, if you can. I would really try to appeal the shit out of that. Like I'm on MJ 7.58 months, 22, 26, 18, was 13, and now it's oh my God, Quinn, that's amazing. How are you feeling? I was 280 and I started to put on OZ. Okay, you did, and then you took a while. It made you sick. Oh yeah, so now you're on MJ. How's the MJ doing? Is it doing better for you? A lot of people who struggle with one tend to do better with another. I've been on all of them and did good on all of them, but everybody's different. 15 for a year and nothing is happening. I've lost 100. Okay. So 100 is amazing, Linda. I would tell you to consider a combined therapy with your doctor. Also consider, are you eating enough? And are you eating enough calories? Are you eating enough protein? And I would also consider strength training. I think that's been very helpful for me. And I've gone through the similar process and numbers and everything that you're saying. And the combined therapy was really helpful for me. And adding in the strength training and more exercise has also been very helpful for me, as well as HRT. I would just tell you, like, these medicines do cap out. And that's just something to really consider. Okay. And what I mean by that is give yourself grace. It's a disease. It doesn't mean that you can't lose more, right? You can. Just know that, like, some additional things may be needed for that to happen, you know, and you have to decide if you're okay with that, and make sure that you're working towards a number that you feel good with, right? And not a number that somebody else told you need to be. You know, I think Lexapro makes you have dry. It does. And mental meds. Try the dry mouthwash. I will try that. But is that why my teeth hurt? I don't know. I don't know if I'm grinding my teeth or what the dealio was, but they hurt. I switched to Sensodyne toothpaste. I hope it passes. Yes. Cost all GLP ones are gone. Yeah, I mean, if it was me, I'd go to Compound for sure. You know, there's lots of places that you can do that. Just make sure it comes from a 503B pharmacy, or is it an A? Damn, I can't remember. I go through. I get mine at Strive. Yeah, definitely try fighting. Definitely, especially for you. You know, a lot better. Good. You had gastrointestinal stuff. Yeah, it's a common side effect. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, frankly, friends, I eat everything in moderation. It's just I find that I don't really want a lot of prepackaged like things. I do eat them. I just don't eat much of them, and I don't do it often. Like I just had salmon and Brussels sprouts and rice, and I'm sure my because of the rice, my blood sugar's up a little bit, but it's controlled, so I'm not super worried about it. And that's what I do. Hmm. Yeah, you're not worth my time of an answer. Sorry, drop it off now. My energy is precious and you're not worth my time. Um, yes, the toothpaste changed, did it? That's fine. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you, friend. Thank you guys for liking the live. I appreciate it. Helps me out a lot. I appreciate that. I did. I pinned my goal. They always want me to pin. Did I pin it? I'll pin it. If you're new here, my name's Kim, and I'm an obesity care advocate. I run a podcast that's ranked in the world 1.5% in the top. It is a reputable podcast. I interview endocrinologists, obesity specialists, bariatric surgeons, as well as people in our community all about their disease and disorder so that you have everything you need to advocate for your health. That is what I do here. And I am happy to answer your questions, point you to medical resources if you need them, if you need them. But I am no doctor. So just know that going in. Thanks for liking the live, guys. I appreciate it. Easy compliment to give. Oh, sweet. Have followed your journey since almost the beginning. Oh, that's great. Well, that's awesome. How have you been doing? Thank you for the gift, friends. Thank you so much. They like us when we hit the goals. They like when we hit the goals. Thank you. Like even now, talking to you guys, my teeth hurt. I don't know. I think it's happened ever since I started the Lexapro. It's like this weird ass side effect. I don't know. Thank you for the gift, friends. I appreciate you. Thank you, Quinn. Thank you, guys. It helps me so much. It really does. It helps me so much. Thank you. Oh, I may take Jamie's name down. You left me. Did you take GLP? I did. Yeah. And it make you feel sick sometimes. I think hear lots of people complaining about feeling sick. Sure, yeah. So I'm happy to answer your question. Yeah, so I've been taking these for over 3 years. I have had obesity since I was a little girl, for as long as I can remember. Like I actually remember looking back, and my mom would make me spaghetti, and I remember fighting myself to go back for seconds and thirds. And it was so young, to be thinking that way and feeling that way. And that's what I've struggled with my whole life. I've just been, kind of just trying to control my size of my body, but I've always lived in a big body. Even now, I'm still in a smaller big body. I'm a size, 14, 14, 16. It's not skinny. Um, I would tell you, I think this medicine is about a disease and treating a disease, not about weight loss. I think you treat the disease and weight loss follows. And I think that the weight definitely is something that causes a lot of havoc with our body. So those are the things that I talk about here. I would tell you there's a lot of ways to manage side effects, and a lot of our community has different tips and tricks. But I also interview experts on a podcast that's called The Plus Sides. And The Plus Sides is a multi-award winning podcast, and it's ranked in the top 1.5% of podcasts in the world. Okay. Why am I telling you this? Because I'm proud? Yes, but also because it's reputable. And I want you to know, because there's a lot of things that aren't. So I just want to make sure you know you're getting stuff from a good place, because there's a lot of stuff out there, you know? What one did you start with? Victoza. Victoza and Saxenda, the daily one. And then now Manjaro Tirzepatide. But yeah, so there is definitely a way to manage side effects for most people. Some people can't. In terms of nausea, I find honestly eating and drinking. It makes you not want to eat and drink, but I find that if you eat and drink, it really does help. That's what it worked for me. So Fran is very helpful that your doctor can call in for you. But that is what I have found helps a lot in that way. I also am a big believer in a probiotic and in fiber supplements, especially if you can't eat enough fiber, and a stool softener and drinking enough water. And I find that that handles that for me. That you're healthier and happier, and that's what matters. Absolutely, yeah, that is what matters. That's what matters most. It's not that I don't think about what would it be like to be in a small body. What would it be like to be skinny? Of course, I have that. I'm a human. I have those thoughts. I just am not that worried about it. If that makes sense. When I started to regain, I was very scared, and I just was very upset, honestly. And then when I made adjustments, right? Like I made adjustments, I decided to exercise more. I definitely was not prioritizing my mental health. So I think I got that under control, which got my cortisol under control, and step away from social media for a bit to take a deep breath and like focus on myself, and getting in a better place. And then now it's back under control. And so I think that that's some sort of a testament to the fact that it's going to fluctuate. It really just is. Drinking water with a nausea GLP-1s, all that. Yeah, I agree. Drinking in general, like there's just something about like the reconnection. It's so easy to just not think about food, but you do need to prioritize food and nutrition, and not just because that's what you need, but or that you will eventually stop losing weight because your body will fight you. But you want to stay healthy. Like, that's the whole point. The whole point. It's not that people don't think to themselves they want to be in a smaller body. They do. And a lot of that is because they want to feel better, but also because like our society, it's more accepted. And I think that, and I hate that. It is what it is, which is crazy because the majority of us are not in small bodies. It's like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, anyway, here's that. But I do think drinking water and eating has been a really good way to kind of get over that like food aversion and not getting enough calories, not getting enough protein. It's just sort of like re-engages my brain. That's what works for me, you know? Hey, friends, welcome in. My name's Kim. I'm an obesity care advocate. I'm happy to answer questions. I am no doctor, no doctor. But I've been on these medicines for 3 years, and I interview doctors about them on the Plus Sites podcast. And it is a multi award winning podcast and ranked in the top 1.5% in the world. And it is about metabolic disease. God, my teeth hurt. And I didn't do anything. I'm going to do this and make it feel better. Oh, why it hurt? It just hurt. It's the weirdest thing. Welcome in, friends. So if you don't ask questions, I tend to just run my mouth. Just like, I don't like dead air. You ever notice like some people will just go live and they'll like type and do stuff over to the right and like work? I just can't. You know what I mean? So I just like run my mouth. It is tiring. So ask me questions instead. Tell me what do you want to know? What are you thinking about? How do you feel? You know? You can watch all my videos, learn how I feel and what I think. So what do you think? Thank you for liking the live, friends. I appreciate you. How are you guys feeling about TikTok being sold? I feel like it's going to be weird, right? I wonder. I wonder how like shop and all that stuff is going to work. Seems like utterly bizarre to me. Welcome in, friends. My name's Kim. If you're new here, got some new people. I'm down with GLP. And I do know you. Help Cakes. How you doing? Welcome in. Help Cakes. That's hilarious. Just sounds funny. I love it. Do you have any questions? I know I feel like everybody can get questions about side effects. I'm happy to answer questions about that and tell you what I've done and what I've learned from doctors on the show. Hi, how are you? Palm Beach. Never been to Palm Beach. I'm going to Miami soon. Is that in Palm Beach? I don't know. Welcome in. I have a little white fluffy dog too. Her name is Dixie. She's like a cat dog. I have three dogs. I'm a weird dog lady. There's like weird cat people. I'm a weird dog person. I don't want any more though. Three is enough. Well, I never felt that way before. Every now and then I'm like, we should buy another dog. And then I remind myself that I don't even like people coming to my house because my carpet's such a mess. Then yeah, so I don't do that. You start today. Okay. I'm really nervous. Sure. About side effects going into the week. I understand that. Yeah. So I would tell you, I'll give you some tips and tricks of what I think when you're first getting started. Something that you can consider is possibly waiting to start your medicine when you know you've got a couple days. So, like, for example, if you know on the weekends, right, that you don't have a lot planned or any major commitments, maybe you do it on a Friday night, you know? I would also tell you, like, there's something in our community we call pre-gaming, which is eating a lot of nutritious calories the day of, getting like quite a bit in, getting a lot of protein in. The doctors usually suggest about 90 to 100 grams on average, getting in your water and electrolytes, taking anything that I would say a vitamin is great. I think that fiber is good, but I would also, honestly, I would not take fiber or stool softener or anything until you know how this medicine affects you because a lot of people have diarrhea and then some people have constipation and some people have nothing, you know? So I would tell you not to even worry about that. But those are some things you can consider. But I think getting in your calories, getting your sleep, getting your water, and then taking it like through the night, like I find that's been very helpful for me and many people in our community do that. We call it pre-gaming, you know. Recently switched to Zep from MJ to insurance purposes. Yeah. And the side effects. What? It's the same thing. It's the same medicine, friend. I wonder why. Was it the dose issue or don't buy a doggy? I don't one. I'm not gonna do either one. No more. I wish I had not started out with spicy foods during the first month. Yeah, I think spicy foods and like really fattening foods, like just stay away. you know, yeah, more mild things. That's what I thought. Yeah, it definitely is the same. I mean, and what I mean by that, it's highly regulated, right? Is it because you went like, did you go off of it for a while and you're starting back? Because that could be it, you know. But it is the same. I've taken both. It's the same. Welcome in, friends. Thank you for liking the live. I appreciate you. I weirdly can't handle sour things anymore. Interesting. I prefer sour to sweet these days, which is bizarre. Added an everyday dose of coffee to my protein shake. Oh, that's good. Um, I mean, driving, trying not to. That's hilarious. Not at all. Horrible headaches and terrible. Oh my goodness. Didn't have a zap. So strange. Interesting. Yeah, I would talk to your doctor. God, I would hate to think you got something a bad patch or something. So I would talk to your doctor about that because it should be exactly the same. You know. And I will tell you, like, check with your doctor about that because I do know there have been times, at least with the other medicines, that we've gotten some things that are not the right thing, you know? So always check with your doctor, okay? I'm week one on MJ, craving salt. So have it. Have salt. Drinking my electrolytes on. That's good. That's good, Quinn. I mean, here's the thing. I'll tell you about the meds. Especially in the beginning, like it's a little bit of a wild west, right? You got to figure out how your body handles it. You've got to find the right dose that kind of matters for you. I think thinking about a colorful plate is always really good. Getting in your water, considering what kind of supplements to take as you see how your body responds. It's just a lot of like tweaking, I find. Like, honestly, it's kind of a lot of tweaking always, you know? in my experience. There are some people, I have some friends that are like, nah, I took it, I got to maintenance, I'm on a maintenance dose, boom, done. It's just not most people, I find. But I would tell you, if you guys are new here and you really do want some guidance on this journey, we have plenty of amazing creators that you can follow in this community. I have a podcast that is all about this. I interview experts about it, and it is a free podcast every Wednesday. We have people that pay for ads only and early listening and all that. You can do that every Wednesday. Okay. 7.5 MJ, waited until box three. Yeah. And it makes me tired. Yeah. I'm telling you, I'm fine on anything under 10. But when I got to 12, 5, and 15 of the medicine, the exhaustion side effect was just not something that I have ever been able to like manage. Even eating more food, even exercising more, even all those things. I just couldn't. I just couldn't. So doing the NAD plus is a supplement that I do. I get it through Shed, so I see a doctor and all the things about it. So I have that in my profile. If you guys want to check that out, that's like something you could do. But like it's not like a shopping cart type of experience. It's a supplement and you can talk with them and see if it works for you. Following up with my doctor, I was like, yeah, it's been 2 weeks since the switch. Yeah, I would definitely do that, my friend. I think that just to make sure that you didn't get something not good. You know what I mean? Because I have heard that some stuff getting through. Sorry, who lost and went off and had success? There are some people that have that'll go off. It seems like those people are people who maybe haven't had obesity very long. Maybe they didn't struggle with, metabolic disease until later in life, or maybe, we've seen people like that, that have gone off. It does seem that most people will regain within about 3 years, if you're not treating it because it's a chronic disease and progressive. But I think there are some people, yeah. Any TikTok creators? I don't think so. I mean, if you follow that nurse April, I know she's decided to go off of it and just stay on Vyvanse and see if that is able to manage it for her. So, but I don't really know anybody. I think most people I know are on a maintenance dose. I've finally been approved for ZEP after 3 years on MJ. Oh my gosh. I noticed that's always out of stock. Oh, that's not good. Is it out of stock in terms of like with your PBM? Can you get it at just a regular drugstore? You're very welcome, S. Yeah. Most people I think that take this that are taking it for obesity will likely to be on something, right? Whether it's a low dose of this or taking like Contrave or some sort of like maintenance medicine. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. If you have obesity, if you have type 2. But I think there are people that, again, like maybe they only had 20 pounds to reckon with and that put them over in terms of BMI and they're able to get that off. I think that's possible. Just completed 6 weeks, 21 down. Oh my gosh, that's incredible. How are you feeling? At the drugstore, yeah. I don't know. I mean, like, I would consider other drugstores for sure. Like, I mean, I think we'll see shortages again. I can't imagine that won't happen. I really think that's why the prices haven't gone any lower. Because, yeah, shortages can happen real fast with how many people have this disease. I wanted to switch to Manjaro because my journey with Sima has halted. And yeah, I did that. I waited quite a long time, but I did do that. And that's something that you definitely can. Yeah, it is a lot more expensive. I do think that it's possible if you look at like look at your spending. Like I guys, I used to just spend so much money eating out and on Uber Eats and stuff. So that's able to work it into a line item on a budget, when you think about it that way. But it is a lot more expensive, yeah. Completely changed my foods. That's great. Yeah, it's interesting how it does change the foods you want, don't you think? I really do think those cravings, like with cake and sugar and all of those things, I do think that they are the food noise. You know what I mean? It's very different than hunger. Hunger is different. I would tell you when I first started though, for me, hunger and food noise, I thought hunger was food noise. And I would say like mine turned off for like 2 years, hunger and food noise. And then eventually hunger started to come back, which terrified me to my core. And then I learned it's not anything to be scared of, because you just want to be able to control it. It needs to be manageable. And that's the goal. We have any extra money? Yeah, a single income. I'm a single income. I'm a Tism mom too. Yeah. Same here. We're a single income home as well. I understand. I understand. You do what you got to do. But I mean, I think like it's a great medicine. Like Sim is a great medicine. I do think that you could possibly consider adding something into it, like what, like Contrave or something. And they actually can prescribe the generic of that, but of what equals that medicine. And it's very inexpensive. So something to consider through your doctor and your insurance. Is it hard for insurance to cover maintenance if meds is in the formula or the I think that every single policy seems to be so different. I do think they're trying to make it harder and harder. I do think everybody should fight the shit out of your insurance and appeal the crap out of everything and never tap out on your healthcare. I do think that. I will tell you, I have found that I know Apple Watch wants me to stand. I have found that Claimable is a really good partner that I work with. And they have like letters and different ways to help you with these kinds of appeals. It's not expensive. I want to say it's like $40. Like it's not expensive to get these appeals and be able to appeal on your own. A lot of times doctors don't know how. I always try to get your doctor to appeal, but you should appeal. I think that maintenance is difficult, but I think more insurance companies are coming around to it. I think Eli Lilly's doing a lot of education in that area, probably Novo too, for them to understand that it's a chronic disease, but it is difficult. It's harder to get on them, and it's harder to stay on them. You know, my son had 3K dental surgery this summer. Oh, I understand. My family is plagued with teeth stuff. Genetics is a bitch. I get it. I get it. And I feel like the same with my husband. Like we got so much work to do with him, and he has autism as well. So dental is always a thing. I'm sure you understand. You fought for 3 years, exactly. You gotta fight. You gotta fight. My insurance company, a couple of years, also pretty much said, "Go get diabetes." Oh my god, I know. Isn't that crazy, Rex? I've heard that too. Like before. Like it's awful. Yeah. All right, friends, I'm going to go and spend some time with my family. It's been wonderful hanging out with you. Please go to my link tree, follow me, and follow the podcast. You can follow us on YouTube if you like to watch podcasts because it's like a show. And if you'd rather listen, you can listen. It's called Plus Sides, SIDEZ. It's all linked in my profile. We would love to have you part of our community, okay? And help us come up with even ideas for other shows, okay? But you are not alone. It is not your fault, and everything's gonna be okay. All right. Have a good day. You love listening to you. Oh, it's so good to see you. Have a good day.